today, but I would like to thank you for coming and of course, introduce Pat Vogelpohl, who's going to be talking about how to go from idea to camera to web, which is sort of what we'll hear about. Thank you so much, Pat.
Thank you, and thank you folks for coming, and thanks Jay and Jeff for inviting me to do this. I'm honored, and I appreciate their use of free technology whenever I get the chance. Couple things I'm going to go over. Obviously, at the end of the session, we're going to make a video and post it on the internet. But before that, let me just give you a little bit of background, some of the benefits of using video, but first how I got into it. I took a break from teaching for about 3 years. I started out right out of graduate school teaching, and I was the young teacher, no problem connecting with students, stuff like that. And then I took a break for 3 years, and I came back, and I was no longer young or cool to a vast majority of my students, and I was having a really hard time getting back in the game with being able to connect to students and having students buy into my class. So getting them beyond the frumpy look of, I don't like being here, this is silly. And around that time, YouTube started blowing up. And I thought, well, I just have to speak their language because they are on this all the time. If you go to the library, they'll pull up a video and then shrink the screen and listen to the music, from their favorite musician, their favorite video while they're typing. And they'll keep going back to it. It's part of their world. So I thought about how I can make key points for English dynamically with the help of television and film. And one of the first things we do is, here's an example of what we do. We talk in my class, I teach English 1 and below. But we talk about the difference between trying to sound cool, but they'll do that for the sake of clarity, at the expense of clarity. So we talk about there's between sounding cool and actually being clear. And one of the ways I did that was with comparing and contrasting a couple music videos. The first one is by MIA, who is, I believe, a Sri Lankan and British rapper. And she had a big hit song with Paper Planes. And it sounds
if you catch me at the border, I got visas in my name. If you come around here, I'll make them all day. I get one down in a second if you wait. I fly like paper, get high like planes. If you catch me at the border, I got visas in my name. If you come around here, I'll make them all day. I get one down in a second if you wait. Sometimes I think sitting on trains. Every stop I get to, I'm clocking that game. Everyone's a winner, we're making our fame.
all my students knew the song. Even the soccer moms coming back going, yeah, I heard it, or I saw the commercial. I go, it's a good song, right? Oh, it's a great song. I go, well, what do you like about it? They go, oh, the beat is great. Okay, well, what's it about? They're like, we think it's about robbing banks or, baking sandwiches, right? You go, okay, so it sounds cool, right? But it's not necessarily, the lyric isn't that clear. You go, right. So they all agreed that, there were songs with clear lyrics, with clear messages. And then I told them, well, actually, if you look at the lyric, it's about third world immigrants to America learning how to hustle in a capitalist marketplace. And they're like, oh, we thought it was about sandwich differences. So first of all, before I even start explaining what that video is about with MIA, right away I was cool for 2 reasons with these students. One, I knew what YouTube was. 2, I knew who some of the artists in their landscape are. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to put MIA up against a classic, someone whose songs have been popular for, going on 50 years almost? And then we went to the Supreme. You can find a lot of old footage to prove your point.
Whenever you're near, a symphony, a tender melody. Every time your lips meet mine, baby, when I hear a symphony, a tender melody.
the song by MIA might be cool in 40 years, but the lyrics still won't be clear. But here is a lyric that has lasted 40 years. I asked him, what's the song about? Well, it's clearly a love song. Well, how do you know? Well, every time she sees this person, she hears a symphony. So, and all of a sudden, the buy-in to the lesson about writing clear, as opposed to trying to sound big, cool, use big, cool words, that lesson's done and over. If you make in your classes allusions to film, or to music, or to the outside world, if you YouTube it with some key words, it's there. And then you do two things. One, again, you show the kids you understand their world. You show the students you understand their world, no matter what the age. And then at the second time, the class immediately is engaged. No matter what class I have, as soon as I pull up video on the screen, they go from writing notes, right, to being glued. Their eyes are all like this, all 30 of them, right? Beginning of the semester, 30. End of the semester, 10. So that's what, okay, so the benefit, other than making points dynamically, without anecdotes. There was this time when I was in college and we did this, we saw this movie, is I can take vital lecture notes that are unchanging, class to class, semester to semester, stuff that they're going to need throughout the term, and I can just put it up there. I can just put it up there, so if they miss a class, do you know YouTube? Yes, I have an account. They go there, they can watch it. They can watch it immediately, and they're all but caught up on key points in some of the beginning classes. So I got a YouTube account, which is free. It takes 5 minutes to join. So a bunch of videos. I've made about 43. And I've had everything from 30 views to 1,300 views of different videos. And then it's my good old Josh. So here's compound sentences. There's great things out of New Jersey. General Norman Schwarzkopf, The Sopranos, Bruce Springsteen, except for this most recent record, and Professor Josh Stein. Welcome, Professor Stein.
Thank you.
Honor to be here.
It's an honor for me, too.
Okay. That's good. Yay, I have a fan. Right?
One.
What? Simple sentences. Professor Stein, please explain what a simple sentence is.
Sure. So a lot of people think that simple sentences are about how long the sentence is or how short it is. If it's simple, it must not have really complicated ideas. It has nothing to do with it at all. Simple sentences do not have commas.
Okay.
Okay? So the way you have to think about this is that there's 4 different kinds of simple sentences.
There you go.
You have a subject and a verb, subject, subject, verb, subject, verb, verb, subject, subject, verb, verb. Now, good English teacher, tell me, what's the pattern? What makes these things not need to have commas?
You know, you're closer to a doctorate than I am.
Da, 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 da,
You got a subject and a verb, that's all you need.
But every sentence is going to have subject
Okay.
and verb. The key thing is that all the subjects are on one side and all the verbs are on the other.
Oh.
So if you're on a one-lane road, I know
Yeah.
this is hard for you to think about, but think about
Okay.
this. A one-lane road, would you
Okay.
have a lane marker?
No.
That's why you don't have a comma. As long as the 2 piles are separate, no issue whatsoever.
I got that.
So here's some examples.
Okay. The impact has been pretty significant for my class. All anecdotal. You know, I don't have any stats or anything like that. But I get commentary just about every week that a student has gone to see a video. Oh, I forgot what this was, so I played a video. Oh, I forgot this was, so I played a video. And a lot of the students, you know, they were going to ask questions either way. You know, because they just, that's not how they participate, or they're embarrassed, or whatever, you know, whatever the case may be. But they'll say, no, I get it now. I get it now. So that's been really helpful.